Today we're going to be looking at tips and strategies that are actually really simple to implement. If you're working from home and finding yourself more overwhelmed, stressed out, or anxious than you might have expected, you're not alone. Even as the pandemic is becoming more manageable, relatively speaking, compared to 2020 and 2021, a lot more people are still finding themselves working from home. Today we're going to look at 7 tips to increase your productivity and reduce your anxiety while working from home. You got to make sure that your systems are in place every day and that you adhere to them. That way you can continue to see positive results. Tip number 1, establish a routine. According to a study by Buffer, those who stick to a routine are 24% more productive than those who don't. Having a set schedule for when you start work, end work, take a break, and even when you eat can all help keep you on track for the day. Tip number 2, create a dedicated workspace. I am a walking example. I guess I'm sitting. I'm an example right now. So I'm actually dog sitting and I had to create like this whole cage thing around the desk because the dog wouldn't leave me alone. So I live in a studio apartment, so I can't just like close the door because there isn't one. This is a really simple example, but it can speak volumes. You know, if there's people around your house while you're trying to work and you're not able to concentrate and focus, then yeah, you're going to be stressed out the entire time and you're going to be less productive because you're going to be interrupted nonstop. So whether it's a spare room or just the opposite side of the room, or if you just create, you know, like little partitions to keep a puppy out or whatever, it makes a difference. Tip number 3, take regular breaks. Even though it's important to keep focused, it's also really important to take a break. I like to take a lot of breaks. I actually don't think that it's that helpful to just take 1 or 2 longer breaks throughout the day. I need a plethora of smaller breaks. During my 8-hour workday, I get up every 45 minutes to do something else for 5 minutes. Set a reminder on your phone or some other device if your phone is too distracting to take a break every 30 minutes, even if just for 5 minutes to go to the restroom or fill a glass of water. Just get up, stretch your legs, do something else, let your mind just kind of check out from work for a moment. That way you can come back a few minutes later and be fully charged. Tip number 4, stay organized. Be sure to always have on hand anything that you would need in a regular office setting, whether it's pens, pencils, highlighters, markers, crayons, a desktop planner,
stapler, hole punch, whiteout.
Whatever you would need in a regular office environment, make sure you have it on your desk. Like tape. You want to try to create a work environment if you're working from home. That way it actually feels like you're at work. It's amazing like these mind tricks that we have. Every time I tell myself that I'm going to try to work from my bed and I take my laptop over there, yeah, that doesn't happen. My bed just feels like a place to relax and watch TV and sleep and eat quesadillas. Tip number 5, prioritize self-care. So self-care is really important when it comes to productivity and having reduced stress. If you're not sleeping well, if you're not eating well, if you're not taking care of your body, you're not even going to realize how that's affecting you, but it is. Sleep is the recharge and the refueling that every person needs on a daily basis. If you're not rested, then you're not working to your fullest potential. If you're not working to your fullest potential, then stuff isn't going to get done properly. If stuff is not getting done properly, then you're going to be stressed out because you know that you're messing up. So make sure to take care of yourself by eating well, getting plenty of sleep, even drinking a lot of water throughout the day. Keeping yourself organized and knowing when to say yes or no to projects at work is also part of self-care because you're establishing boundaries. Also keep in mind that having a healthy work-life balance is super important. You want to make sure that you don't forget all of the activities that make you happy and that bring you joy. And that actually feeds into the next tip. What I have written down is to stay connected with coworkers, but that really should say, while being connected to coworkers, stay connected to your friends. It's so important to have a support system outside of work as well. Obviously, it's great to have an environment at work where you get along with everybody, but you really want to make sure that you stay connected to your family and friends because they're really going to be the ones that are around for the long haul when you're going through something. I know that it's hard these days. It's so easy and normal to live across the country from where you grew up, actually even around the world for that matter. But what's also true these days is that it's really easy to stay connected now more than ever. Text message, video calls, phone calls, even being active on social media the way that social media was intended. So stay in touch with your friends and family, and if you're going to be using social media as the avenue to stay in touch with them, do it wisely. And tip number 7, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness can look very different to different people. You know, it's hard to tune out the world. It's hard to not think about that deadline, or, you know, there's always something to stress out about. Like, one of the fantastic things I think about the next generations is that self-care is a lot more ingrained than it is for people even from my generation. I mean, honestly, mindfulness can be anything. Anything that allows you to be still in the moment and just shut everything out. So yes, working from home can be a challenge, can be really overwhelming. It can increase your anxiety. It can make you feel isolated from the rest of the world. But by following these 7 steps, you can increase your productivity and reduce your anxiety. So let's go through those real quickly again. Establish a routine, create a dedicated workspace, take regular breaks, stay organized, prioritize self-care, stay connected, stay in the moment, and you'll notice that your days will become, at the very least, a little bit easier, and that's so much better than getting a little bit harder. Chances are that there's probably something on this list that you haven't tried yet, so don't be afraid to try something new. On that note, something else you can try is giving this video a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. Also, leave a comment below and tell me what your favorite productivity tips are. I really am confident that these strategies can help you be more productive when working from home, or even just working on your passion projects. So please give something a shot if you're feeling like your days could be just a little bit better. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. So follow my lead, and I'm confident that you can increase your... I guess I'm not that confident if I'm like reading the script. Something else you can try is giving this video a thumbs up and booping that subscribe button. Booping?